the MagnaWave office hours for this Tuesday morning office edition. Glad to be here. Look forward to visiting with several folks. We're live today on Castbox, which is the radio application that Chris will put in the comment section. So if you would like to listen to us in that fashion without video, and we're also on YouTube, Facebook Live, and now LinkedIn Live. And so you can watch us on all three programs, or certainly listen to us on the Castbox program. Glad to be here. Kind of waiting for some folks to come along and join us this morning so we can get started with this process. Do have a couple of things to talk about today that we feel will be interesting and important as far as business aspects, understanding PEMF equipment, and so forth. So again, as we're waiting for some people to join us, we'll just kind of pass a little time here and let the folks be notified that we're here and join us and go from there. I got a few people with us on Castbox at this point. Good morning. Thank you for being with us. If you're listening on Castbox, you can post questions in the Castbox area, and I can see those and answer those questions that you may have. And certainly if you have a question on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, simply put it in the thread or the feed area, and I will receive those questions and be able to answer them for you at that time. As we're going, I'll tell you, you'll notice that I get backwards here on what's what, but I'm wearing a shirt with the old MagnaWave logo. It's kind of dear to me. It came to me in my sleep one night about 15 years ago, and we've been very happy to use that as the MagnaWave logo over the years. We're having a close out of the old logo. It's still fine. You can still use it. Actually, the new logo is a kind of a build on this logo. The new logo actually kind of depicts the signal that is delivered from the machine. And it's always fun to look at that. But if you'd like some gear at a deal, with the old logo, go to the Facebook page, maybe the Certified Practitioners group, if you're a certified practitioner, and have a look, and you'll be able to get a hold of the gear with the old logo at very good discounted prices at this time. And so we're looking forward to clearing that out, and we have a lot of new stuff coming. And I'll tell you a little story about the new logo. I was wearing a hat. I was in Florida, and I was wearing a hat in a store, and didn't expect anything, but the gentleman behind the counter, I've worn hats for years, and they read them because it's got the MW and it says MagnaWave. And it's all kind of self-explanatory. Once in a while, someone would say, well, what's MagnaWave? And but not very often. But with the new logo, I've noticed that people, I don't want to say they work to read it, but you look at it, you see that it's a design, you see what's going on there, and then you read the word. And quite often people will follow that process, read the word, and they'll say MagnaWave. And I'll say yes. And then their next thing out of their mouth is, well, what is MagnaWave? And I get to tell them that it's a piece of therapy equipment for animals, small animals, people, professional athletes, that whole story. And it's just a great conversation starter to utilize the new logo in that fashion. I don't know, Chris, are you seeing folks on your side? I'm not seeing anybody on my side just yet, but anyway, the new logo works very well to generate some interest and verbiage. So if you're a practitioner, I encourage you not only to build your own brand, but to build on the brand that we've established, and to have some gear with the new logo that people can see and ask questions about and read, and it can work out very well. Let me take a look here in the comments. Yeah, so there are folks here that aren't showing up on the stream. Good morning, Kate, and I thank you being with us. John's, hey, John, any update? Well, the update is the same. We're waiting for them to, it's really, John, turned into a backlog. John's asking about the CE program and the CE mark in Europe. We are kind of working down a new path with the factory to maybe circumvent some of this stuff that I really can't explain how it's going, but we are working down a new path to do that. But the backlog of US companies with CE products that are new to the CE area is huge, and they're just working down that list as diligently as they can. And John, I appreciate you asking the question, and I will reach out again today and speak with Michael and the folks at the factory and see what they have to say and see what we can find out about that. Liking the Kenny Rogers look. There you go. I'm calling it my Ernest Hemingway look. I was in the Keys a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago, and I finished my chapter in my book with Jack Canfield, and finished my chapter in the book on miracles, wake up miracles, and toured the Hemingway house just to bring you up to speed there, John. And I thought, well, I'll just do a little Hemingway action here, or the Kenny Rogers action, if you will, and finished my chapters and did that. Muriel Hemingway is actually participating with us on the Wake Up Miracles book, and very interested in that. And so that's why I did it. And she hasn't told me yet to take it off. And, you know, she kind of runs the show. Elaine runs the show at the factory and the office, and Dee Dee runs the show here at our place. And so she's happy so far. So I'm going to play with it a little longer and see how it develops. But at any rate, maybe I'll get a beer and hold it up and talk about it, or get a machine and hold it up about the. Never mind. We don't need to go there. Anyway, if you got questions, simply post them in the thread. John, thanks for asking. I will get you an update on that. An hour early this week. Did people know? Well, it's 9:17 here. We did have time change. Now, I don't know how that affects you in Europe with the time change here for Eastern Standard Time. Great question. I never realized that. I don't know how that affects the hour differences. Do you have daylight savings time in Europe, John? Did your time change last Saturday? Good question. Daylight savings time started here. Mary's with us. Tim, good morning, Tim. Thanks for being with us. If you have a question, folks, simply put it in the timeline. I'd be more than happy to answer it and discuss it with you. I appreciate everyone being with us on Castbox and YouTube, Facebook, and now LinkedIn. So I will go over one thing. So those who will watch this when it's recorded will certainly get this, and those who are participating now will be able to pay attention. Something has happened in the industry that I've feared for a long time, and it's hopefully it doesn't cause any other ramifications or any other issues. But there's a company, the name begins with B, and in fact rhymes with Zemer. And they've encountered some issues, and the issues that I was afraid of, and we've talked about it here on this program before, is that the way the company sells their product is on a more of a network marketing basis. So everybody, it's about who you can bring into your field and help you do things, and go from there like that. And what I was afraid of is their sales force. I started hearing a lot of what I'm going to call claims, to where people were making comments about, oh, this will do this, and this will heal that, and this, oh my God, this wonderful healing that took place over here with this particular device. And I started saying, and people would ask me the questions, that you have to be very careful about what you say. We don't make any claims with regard to any healing. We make claims with regard, not claims, we make statements with regard to energy supplementation, sense of well-being, better oxygenation of the body, allowing the body to be in a position to better heal itself. And so we have to be very careful in what we say on our websites, on our Facebook posts, and LinkedIn, wherever you may be promoting yourself or your business, is to not make claims. Well, this company began to make claims. They are a registered FDA device. And they're registered because if you import anything into the United States, you have to be registered. So if I've had a machine from Russia, for example, a couple of years ago, I was talking with some folks from Russia about a pretty neat little magnetic machine, and I was looking at bringing it in and repping it as part of our line. But I had to be registered. I had to jump through a lot of hoops to bring this item in that was not going to be a main element of what we were doing. But at any rate, for them to bring this device into the country, they have to be registered. They have to go through that process of registration, not necessarily clearance or approval or anything like that, but they are registered with the FDA as a Class 1 device, and it says clearly on their particular FDA documentation that it's not for healing, it's not a medical device, and so on and so forth. But at any rate, when people began to apparently make some claims and talk about what they felt that this thing would do, the FDA has stepped in and stopped import of the device and won't let them bring it in. Doesn't mean they cannot sell what's here, but they can no longer, I don't want to say no longer, but they currently cannot bring it into the United States. Now, we've been told, I've talked to folks that have said, yes, it'll be cleared up in 2 weeks, and that's a month ago. And so, you know, when I had this, I was selling for another company back in 2002 and 2003, and they had some stickers on their device that were a little unclear. And the FDA, and there was a Canadian machine that again had to be registered in the U.S. And the FDA went to them and said, "This isn't clear. Your manual's not clear. You need to stop importing this device until such a time that you square this information away." There were no claims, nothing like that going on with this particular device, so we were safe there. But it took about 6 months for this to be cleared to where the fellow that I was selling for could begin to re-export from Canada, import into the United States. So we had inventory to market and sell just over a sticker and an explanation in the manual of the device. And so at any rate, that's what's going on here. There is some, it has been stopped at this point. Now, it could have changed yesterday. I don't know. But it's something that we all need to be clear on and understand with regard to MagnaWave when we talk to our customers. You can share third-party testimonials where people have talked about the results that they've achieved, but you certainly cannot say, and you can't make claims that this device will achieve this or will do that in order to protect your business, our business, and everything else. So you may see some more on that or read some more on that, and I encourage you to do that. And I'll do that, Gwendolyn. And of course, you may have seen just the last couple of days that in New York, a bunch of horse racing trainers, I haven't seen the full list, but a number of racing trainers, veterinarians and manufacturers or suppliers of various products have been indicted for doping scandal or doping situations with the racehorses. Not a good time for that. Certainly, it's never a good time for that type of situation, but it has occurred, and the ramifications will be probably pretty broad. There's some big names that have been. John Service has been thrown out of his name has been exposed. He was the one that won the Kentucky Derby last year and then was disqualified, they determined, for blocking, which is totally unrelated to this. But he and others have been indicted in New York, and so it's not a fun picture. And then, of course, you've seen where there are some trainers in New York, a lot of consternation in New York at this point. There's a few trainers that have stopped training. Kieran McLaughlin is one. Kieran has been a customer of ours for years, has two devices, or has had two devices, and he's decided to become a jockey's agent, which he was before he was a trainer, and it's just getting difficult for those in New York to pursue their trade. And now there's the indictment, and a lot of folks are supposedly isn't in place. So that's very unfortunate. John, real quick on your doesn't look like CE will come anytime soon. I just received a text from California this morning that I didn't, just a few minutes ago, that I did not get a chance to take a look at, but it did say something about CE. So I'm not promising, but it could change literally any day with regard to that CE. I know that's troubling for you, but that's where we are. And I will certainly get more information and bring it up to you next week again, or via email. Okay, so Glenda asked the question, please talk about treating clients with aneurysms. Is there a chance that the aneurysm will burst from the pulsing? Well, you would most certainly, in the case of an aneurysm, we need to talk with the doctors that we're dealing with. If someone is concerned, my wife had an aneurysm, and that's a whole long story. I shared it, but I don't want to mislead in the area of aneurysms. But my wife had an aneurysm for years that they checked every 6 months, and she continued to treat herself. There's a key size on an aneurysm. I think it's 3 centimeters in size that they begin to be concerned about it and watch it and pay attention to it. I would certainly say that the doctors, if someone has an aneurysm and the doctors are thinking you can't do this and you can't do that because they're concerned about the stress, the blood pressure, and things like that affecting the aneurysm, number one, in that situation, if it's operable, they would probably go in and do a procedure to correct that as much as possible. But you always have to, particularly in the case of an aneurysm, clear it with the doctor, find out if it's growing, find out if it's something that they are overly concerned about. Certainly they're concerned, but if it's something that they see impending issues or impending safety or safe life or of the person, of the client, then they may say, no, don't do that. They may say, don't do anything. We used to have that conversation. I would talk with doctors in talking about tumors and various things related to tumors, and they would say, oh, you're going to do this and you're going to improve someone's circulation or their blood flow, and you're going to spread that particular tumor or allow that to spread through the body. And the basic conversation there is, so that means somebody can't exercise or walk if they have this issue, because they're going to do things that they're going to get in a discussion at home, and their blood pressure is going to go up or their circulation is going to increase. And so all of those same things can enhance the spread or the something in the body changing in scope or size. And not that we, by doing what we do, would that not do the same, but we've not found, and studies have shown, in fact, they're doing more and more studies, and more doctors are using this type of therapy for tumor type situations to, in fact, in many cases, reduce the size of the tumors, cause things, the improved oxygenation of the body, whatever you can do to, some people use oxygen apparatus when they have these types of diseases or indications to improve their overall oxygenation. Some people use ozone, whether they do it through their nose, ears, rectally, whatever they may do to get the increased ozone and the oxygenation into the body. But with that said, that is often discussed. So in this case with aneurysms, clear it with the doctor and make sure that they're confident that it's not a tenuous situation for the client, and then proceed as normal if everything is okay. As I said, my wife treated herself for years with her aneurysm, and there was no issue. And today the aneurysm is gone. So I'm not going to say that we had anything to do with that, but for some reason it's gone, and the doctor really couldn't put a handle on what that may have been. So that's, Gwendolyn, I hope that helps with you with that particular type of situation. Joanne Pelosi, I'll see you in a couple of days. I presume that you're going to be at the meeting that we're going to attend in Fort Lauderdale. Good morning. She asked, with mass hysteria over COVID-19, how would you share how MagnaWave can help support, let me turn this off, can help support the immune system to people who might be interested in trying it? Thank you. Well, that's a great question, Joanne, and certainly that we have found, and there have been some studies to show that energy and improved oxygenation and improved blood flow helps support the immune system to be more viable in the immune system, fighting off various indications that might attack the body, being certainly coronavirus or COVID-19. When I sit back and say, "Oh, use this therapy and you won't get it," not the case. I can't say that, because there's a whole difference of a virus and a bacteria. But when you talk about helping the blood flow and the oxygenation and better homeostasis in the body for a stronger immune system, I would think that someone would want to do this regularly for those purposes, to help their body be in a better defensible state for whatever may be around. And so certainly, Joanne, that would be my mode of discussion, would be just that. Improve the homeostasis of the body, allow all of your cells to be as healthy as possible, allow your white blood cells to be as nourished and healthy as possible, so your body can best be in a position to fight off whatever it is exposed to. To those who are older, certainly to where pneumonia is a big issue with this, and we've had people that have had congestive issues in their lungs, and the idea of getting better oxygen to their lungs, better blood flow through their lungs, allows them to breathe better, allows their lungs to be in a more healthy state, a sense of more of a better state of well-being. So to help that whole situation would be something that would also be beneficial. So someone that's maybe a little older, or has a diabetes, or has allergies or things that can constrict their lung flow, their oxygenation of their lungs, and that type of thing. We don't want it to become a respiratory issue. So if you can help your respiratory health with this type of activity with PEMF, I would think would certainly be something that you would discuss with folks as they're looking at this. That would be a situation where if somebody, let's say in my case right now, I'm having no back pain or anything like that, but it would be beneficial for me to sit on the mat behind my back and lungs, or put the large coil on my chest or my back and my lungs, just to energize my body's health. Yes, I would think that would be certainly recommended and beneficial to anyone's health and situation that they may be dealing with. Great question. Thank you. Let's see. John says, I like the sound of the Wave Oasis. Sounds like a good alternative to the pulse centers where people can rock up or lay down for an all-encompassing treatment. Well, that's certainly correct, John. The Wave Oasis is a full body mat of PEMF, with the opportunity to have vibration therapy at the same time. So you can be pulsing the body, having vibration at the same time, much like a very, some people call it a dry float. So it gives you the sensation of floating. It's not like a massaging deal, although when you're finished, it feels like you've had a massage. I love it. I'm not a hands-on massage kind of person, but I do love to lay on or sit. We have a chair for it as well. Sit on the Wave Oasis, put on some PEMF, let the machine do its vibration. Now, at the same time, you have to turn the machine down a little bit, but you can have the music and the frequency delivery of the Wave Oasis for relaxation. Specifically, people do deal with frequencies that are said to help with depression. So there's a lot of different ways to use the Wave Oasis for various situations going on that you want to address. But you're absolutely right. People that have used the Wave Oasis in conjunction with the PEMF and a standalone vibration or standalone PEMF have really been happy with it. And we just like that it just takes the whole situation a step further. And of course, now we're dealing with, and Dr. Brandon DeWeese does this, I'm sure he talked about it on the webinar last week that he did with Elaine, but now we have the capability of using the Wave Oasis with the vibration and have the brain tap, the NeuroWave device on your eye, on your head, and watch the lights and have the motivation, the guided motivation that they go through with the NeuroWave device, and to help with stop smoking, help with depression, there's a whole series. And of course, we have a lot of equine work we do, but there's a whole series of this dealing with horse training and riding a horse. And there's other activities that are with it, and I said, certainly smoking cessation, athletic training, that whole thing that's available. So it's really developing into a pretty neat package, and we're rolling that in our clinic now that's operating. We have that whole thing going on in our clinic as well, to be able to have all of these various aspects in concert or as complementary therapies with MagnaWave PEMF. So great question. Ooh, Alan asked a question. It's a long one. Here we go. Let's see here. I was treating a horse almost a week for some lameness in the front end. Machine indicates it might be some nerve damage. I treated 5 days straight, skipped a day. I could see improvement after each treatment. Let me make sure it's right. I could see improvement after each treatment, but not that much improvement from treatment day 1 to day 6. I believe it's a Maya. Started off at 2 whole body and was up to 4 or 5 on shoulders and front legs. Would run splitter with hoof box and big loop on legs and under the chest. Should I keep treating with a higher level? Or I didn't get the whole thing there. Well, to best answer your question, if you've seen an improvement after, let me square this way. If you've seen improvement daily after 5 or 6 days, but not that so much from 1st to 6th, the issue is it could, depending on how long this horse or this person or a person or an animal has had an indication, it could take a long time or a longer time to get the improvement you're looking for. And just very quickly, for those of you who don't know, haven't heard this, when I got involved with this, Debbie, my wife, Dee Dee, is the one who got us involved because she had a bad herniated disc. She couldn't raise her arm above here, and she was in pain all the time. The first time she sat down for a treatment, for 8 minutes, she stood up and had no pain and total mobility. Lasted about 24 hours. And then we bought a machine, and she continued to treat herself. And it really she'd get relief immediately every day, but it didn't last as long as we wanted it to. So the routine really took us almost 4 weeks worth of treatments every day for 20 minutes. And at the end of the 4 weeks, we stopped, and she got 2 weeks worth of relief. We did it again for 30 days, every other day this time, stopped, and she got 4 weeks worth of relief. Without going on to the rest of the story, for the last 15 years, she gets, after 1 or 2 or 3 treatments, she gets 3 to 4 weeks worth of relief. So just to help you with that, Alan, it could take more time. If you're seeing improvement, it should continue to improve. Now, with that said, if you have a situation and you take it to a point and you reach a plateau, I don't care if you did it for a month, you're at the same plateau, you want to look and see if there's not something anatomical going on. The doc needs to look at it. Could it be a splinter, a fracture, a splint, excuse me? Could it be something anatomically causing the issue? A tear, something that didn't heal properly and can't because it was left unchecked for so long that it cannot necessarily reverse. You could get yourself into a situation that all you're able to do is provide a certain level of relief based on the anatomical situation that has been in place or has occurred for some time. So you need to keep that in mind, but I would certainly take the position that if you got good results over 6 days, but you still want to have it go, you need to keep going. Now, what you can see, though, is you may not have to do it every day. What I would do at that point, after 6 or 7 days, if you reach this type of plateau or level of improvement that we hope would continue to increase, what I would do is maybe lay off for a couple of days and see how long it lasts, and then come back, do a couple of days and see if it lasts the same or maybe goes a little longer. You might find yourself in a routine like we did with my wife. We were able to go every other day for the next 30 days and got 2 more weeks worth of relief out of it for her. So you want to approach it like that. You may be in a situation that it holds and you're able to treat it just a couple of times a week and it continues to improve. Now, if you stayed on more often, you might get that improvement more rapidly, but you may not get it more rapidly. It may still be that type of work to get it going. So that's how I would approach that, Alan, and I would think about it from that perspective. Some of our practitioners who are watching, who maybe has had a similar type situation, will maybe put some information in the board. Now, if you want to talk to me, please give me a call. It's 502-599-9722. Send me a text with your name and question if you like, and I will call you right back, and we can have this discussion on air, which is always good because we can go a little deeper into the whole conversation and go from that perspective. So I would encourage you to send me a text. Also, if you send a text, you'll be entered into today's drawing for receiving some MagnaWave gear with the new logo, which we're pretty excited about. So send me a text. Let's see if anybody, I haven't looked here. I've been busy talking about other stuff and went away. Let me see. Nope, no messages as yet on the telly. So send me a text and we'll do that. Let's see if there's any other comments. We do. You're welcome, Alan. Good morning. John asked the question, is it popular? Am I missing Alex? Morning, Alex. The Wave Oasis is popular, John, if that's what you're talking about. A lot of people are adjusting to and liking and using the Wave Oasis as for their personal health and well-being, and many are incorporating it into their practice. We're certainly using it in the clinic, and as we're beginning now to roll out the clinic concept for folks, for small animals and people, where they can use it in addition to their equine if they desire or whatever. But so it's interesting from that perspective. If you have any other questions, simply drop them into the box there, and I'd be happy to take a look and answer. Hazel's with us on, Hadis is joined. Hazel's with us. Charles is joined on Castbox, so we're glad we have that. I keep forgetting how to take a look at the, here it is. Let's see. I can say something, but I haven't seen any comments on the Castbox at this point, if someone wants a question or join in. So if we have additional questions, I'd certainly, my goodness, it's, of course, we started about 10 minutes late. I had a little power issue here this morning. I had to find an extension cord, which I've got them, but I couldn't find one to save my life to hook up the power, so my screen was brighter. Good morning, Hazel. Oh, you just post it and it comes right up on my screen on Castbox. Great. Thanks for doing that, Hazel. So I can see that on the Castbox and answer those questions accordingly. So if we have some more questions, I'd be happy to go easier. It's afternoon here. Hadis, where are you, Hadis? Tell me where you are in the afternoon. I would presume you're somewhere Iran. All right. Thanks for joining us. Wow, that's probably one of the John's in Europe, and Hadis is in Iran. Thank you for joining us. We do have machines all over the world. I'm not sure where we are as far as being in Iran at this point, Hadis, but we sure would like to develop the therapy in that area and things going forward. Let's see if there's anything else here. I'd be happy to answer. If there are no other questions, we will say good day and have a great day and so forth. But if you do have a question, say, oh, Jared asked a question. I treated my fusion in my lower back daily for 30 minutes for 7 days. It lasted 2 days. And I felt stiff, moderate pain, and was back with a huge compared to the 9 or 10 pain I have had for 25 years. You know, to receive that, Jared, after 7 days, and it lasted 2 days, again, as I described it a little earlier, keep it going. Hopefully, now you've got a situation that you've had for 25 years. So this could very well be a situation that you gift yourself to a point that you get 2 or 3 days worth of relief without a pretty good treatment. And, you know, in my book, that's pretty good. Do you want more? Would we want you to have more? Absolutely. Kind of like my wife experienced with her herniated discs. So I would certainly thank you for sharing with that. And I would certainly encourage you to continue to use that and keep us up to date on what's going on with it, so we can have that as part of our information that people can share and hear about. For those of you who are watching, as I was saying, give me a text at 502-599-9722. You'll notice that I am wearing one of the old logo shirts. If you'd like to have some of the old logo gear, if you will, we have a few things left. It certainly still works, and you can get a good deal on the old logo as we're bringing the new logo and gear into play. Let's see here. Thanks for, I just had PRP in my shoulder. How soon after that treatment should I start using? Good question, Lisa. I would, again, talk with your doc. But PRP, quite often, is what happens when they do that, and they do this injection or they put it into the body. It's amazing how it does it, but it migrates to the area of problem and works to help that area to be healthier and to replenish itself and to heal. What I would recommend is once it's there, once it's in place, give yourself 24 hours, let's say. Then I would start with torsal treatments. I wouldn't necessarily, you could go to the area itself, if it's your shoulder or wherever it may be, and treat that area to get, if the pain is still there and there's still some inflammation, you can enhance what's going on by reducing the inflammation, because the inflammation, which causes the pain, is trying to fight everything that's going on there. So the PRP can work towards that for nerve regeneration, body regeneration, the whole thing, or health regeneration. And what we can do is help supplement that and support that. But what I would also do is use the mat or the large loop on the torso and low back to help the overall body's blood flow and blood oxygenation be improved. So then that helps the overall health of your whole body. That good oxygenated, that good blood flow will go to the area where the PRP is trying to do its job to help heal your body. And that's specifically what it's trying to do, as it's a medical product delivered by doctors to work to heal that area. We can supplement that with the improved blood flow, the improved energy, and the improved oxygenation that we can help deliver to those areas. So that would be my thought on that. You can go after it pretty quick. I would say, just for conversation's sake, let it do its job. Let it get to the area. Let it start to do what it's doing, and then you can support it with full body types of treatments to improve the overall blood situation. It was interesting, as you know, we're doing a study at the University of Colorado on brain issues, concussions, and brain protocols, and they're treating pretty much just the head. But what they're seeing, and I talk about it in my new book, what they're seeing is improvement in the body elsewhere just from treating the head. The blood that goes to the head, it's got to go back to the heart. It's got to go to the rest of the body. And so it's going to go there. If we treat the head, you're going to help the body. And so what they're seeing is people with lumbar pain, by treating their head and neck, are seeing an improvement in their lumbar pain, in addition to younger brain health, healthier brain age with a concussion or with a brain injury that they're working with. And this is Dr. Larry Lyons. This is going on in Colorado. He started to share with us now the various cases. What they're doing is they're doing a test on the people. They're establishing their brain age, or severity of brain damage with result of the concussion or whatever it may be. And then they're treating, I believe, for 6 weeks, so many times a week or whatever, and then they're coming back and they're reevaluating the age of the brain, which denotes the health of the brain, how things have recovered, how cognition has recovered, the whole thing. And it's just amazing, some of the results that they're finding. In fact, I will pull that out of my chapter and give it to Chris, and he can do a post on that in the Facebook and LinkedIn areas as to what we're seeing with that particular study that's taking place at the University of Colorado with MagnaWave specific devices. In fact, I believe he's using the Pulse Pro for this particular study. Okay, we do have a message here that someone would like to visit us. Has a question. Kate has a question. So let me get Kate on the phone, and we'll get this, have this question.
Hello.
Good morning, Kate.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
I'm good.
I had a question about an equine client. I have been working just on her legs because even after talking with her vet, we're just not really sure about addressing her torso. She actually has AFIB, and 2 heart murmurs. And the vet basically just said that she doesn't really know enough about MagnaWave and about PEMF to say one way or the other if it would be okay to treat her whole body.
And is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Marty talks about and has shared at MagnaCon how he has witnessed people who are his clients who have received, who have also had some PEMF treatments done on them with AFIB and have seen very positive results. He has used it on dogs and cats with murmurs and similar type of AFib type situations with no problems. I don't think it's a situation, now again, we need to go deeper, but I don't think it's a situation where we're altering the electricity in the body or the synapses of the body. If that were the case, there would have been reports over the last 20 years of things changing, and that's not the case. And in my wife's case, for example, with 2 stents, wire mesh heart repair, ascending aortic aneurysm, she has treated herself regularly over the years over her heart because that's where her back problems are. And with her doctor's clearance, no problems, no issues. So I would think that you could certainly do that. Now there's a way around this. If you don't want to treat the area of the heart on the horse, don't do that. Treat the top line, treat the hips and the back of the horse, because what are you going to do? You're going to improve the blood flow, the oxygenation that's going to go to the heart. But if the doctor is concerned about the pulsing and the potential signal that's put off at that point immediately on the heart, fine.
Right, that's what we've been doing. We started out just doing the hind end and kind of keeping it on low, and then we sort of progressed to doing, her neck and her top line, her back legs. Unfortunately, she's come down with a bout of pretty severe cellulitis, which then obviously with heart problems, we're having a lot harder time taking care of because her heart just, isn't capable of clearing that fluid well anyway. So if we were to try to start working, over her torso, over the heart area, would you recommend just keeping it pretty low?
Well, I would the first few times for sure. I mean, I would say you can always be moderate over that. But there's a lot.
We're just we're looking for anything we can do to help her before it gets hot and things get worse.
I would certainly go over the lungs and the top line, as you say, to stimulate the lymphatic system to help move the fluid that's there and the debris in the fluid, the bad stuff, and help move that out of the system. To treat the shoulders of the horse on a very moderate setting, you're not going to get the depth of strong penetration over the heart area of the horse that you would if you came at the horse from the front and turned it up and went straight into that area of the body. So you've got some leeway there, but to be moderate in your setting, moderate meaning you can see some movement and you see what's going on. But again, the whole key at this point is to improve the flow to help if the flow of the blood is smooth and good, that makes the stress on the heart less. Right. And so that's what we want, and that's what we want as I'm sorry, but we were talking earlier with Pelosi about the coronavirus and improving the flow and the whole situation. That's exactly what we want to do here. And I would explain that to the doctor. We do have that video with Dr. Marty talking about it available in the videos that the veterinarian could look at. We do have our medical director, Dr. Amanda Myers, who would be more than happy to talk with the doctor to explain the physiology of what's going on and how that could be utilized, things that I can't say. Dr. Jerry Dreesen and certainly Dr. Marty can address those questions and specifically that we can ask. So I would just let your veterinarian know that we are really working to make sure that there is clarity in all of these areas, and that we want to clear up.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Pat. I really appreciate it.
Send an email to support at MagnaWave PEMF for the drawing today.
I will. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I got somebody on, let's see here, what I need to do. Rooster has a question on Castbox. If you'll type the question in, Rooster, I'd be happy to do it. If you want to talk to me, simply, let's see here, tap on the phone. Let me see if I think if you tap on the phone, you can come in and we can hear you and we can discuss the question. Or if you'd like to ask the question, Rooster, just type it in your comment box there and I will get it and be able to answer the question. Let's see. Good morning, LTC. Shannon and Jody from Arizona. My Semi-5 direct, let's see, I'm missing some of these comments that are going on here. Oh, I just had okay, had PRP in your shoulder. Sure, I'd start using, if you've had it for a couple of days, begin to treat your shoulder and actually upper torso area, Lisa, and that will help out. Let's see, Brittany asked the question. Oh, Rooster did ask the question. Brittany asked the questions. I was wondering if you have heard of any successful treatments for swollen arytenoids, okay, flapper in horses or horses that roar before paralysis sets in. Yes. If there is an indication, if the doctor feels that there is swelling in the arytenoids or the flap of the horse, and what happens for those of you who are not familiar with horses is the breathing on a horse, there are flaps that go, and what happens is, for whatever reason, it could become paralyzed to where it doesn't work properly, and so you don't get the airflow that you're looking for, and that's where they get what is called roaring. When the horse comes, it performs or comes down the track, you can hear the stress related to that difficulty in breathing. And we have found that if you start treating, over the years, we've had horses that had problems, and we were able to treat them and keep the problem from growing worse by improving the circulation, improving the blood flow, helping the elasticity in the muscles, and so forth. So we've been able to keep it from progressing. Have we seen it reverse? I can't say that we've seen paralysis in that situation reversed, but we have seen it slowed down. And so if you're in a situation that the veterinarians and the people feel like, gee, this is starting to go and become an issue, start treating. Treat to slow it down. You could stop it, I would hope, but I don't know that for a fact, but you could certainly, we found that with arthritis. People that have arthritis, the more they treat, it slows down the progression. And it's better from that standpoint. So that would certainly, there are plenty of situations out there where that has been the case. There was one horse that I treated before every race, 2 or 3 times before every race for this one trainer, and the horse ran well and won races, and he claimed it because it was beginning to have the problem. When he had then sold it, and the next person, I don't want to do that, I don't need that, I'm going to do something else, the horse did not perform as well. And because we were continually treating 2 or 3 times prior to a race, and working to make things healthier for the horse. Good morning, Terry. Let's see here. Rooster has a question. Do you have anything about how to heal digestive problems? Well, Rooster, we're not going to. Rooster sent us a thumbs up heart deal to us. Thank you so much. This is the most activity we've had on Castbox, so that's pretty exciting. Hazel, thank you for sticking with us on Castbox. Well, here's the thing, Rooster, if you're having digestive problems, you would want to use this device to treat your abdomen and to help massage the digestive system and to hopefully keep things healthier in that regard and to help move things through the digestive system. Certainly the machine is used a lot. In fact, that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about at the gynecological conference, this gynecological plastic surgery conference this coming weekend with Dr. Pelosi and crew, is incontinence. It is used quite often for female female incontinence. We've had men use it for incontinence with the digestive and with the bowel part of the system. But so certainly if you have gut issues and you want to improve the health of the gut, then I would certainly treat those areas. So Rooster, it's a situation where we're just wanting to improve the overall health of the body, allow the body to be in a position to better heal itself, but you can focus on the digestive system. You can put the equipment there to help nurture those areas. I hope that helps with your question. Thank you so much for asking the question. Great questions. Kathy's with us. Good morning. Brittany's with us. Hello. Terry Jo, I mentioned that. Let's see. If you have any other questions that you'd like to talk about, send me a text. I'd be happy to get back to you. It's 10 o'clock. We did start a little late, so I will stay a few minutes longer if you have questions. If not, we will head on. But it's been a good morning this morning, a lot of good questions coming up. We will be at as I said, Elaine will be there. Didi and I are going. Sean and Michelle will be there in Fort Lauderdale for the gynecological plastic surgery conference that's going to take place this week, and a lot of discussion there. And as I said, one of the areas is incontinence. I was reading and watching a video yesterday about how some of these docs are working with various methods to work with cellulite, and we've had some success there as well with our type of equipment. So those kind of things are being discussed. Someone asked me yesterday, plastic surgery and gynecology. Well, you know, things happen, and women need to have some things repaired, and you know, there's a lot of things that go on. I don't know if endometriosis fits into that, but there are a lot of things, and they do require surgery and healing of their body in these areas. And so plastic surgeons work their wonders and do a great job there. So that's some of the things that we'll be addressing this particular weekend. We're excited about it. Looking forward to being with those folks this weekend. Rooster says, I've been sick for 6 years now, and doctors seem not to be able to help me. Well, I'll tell you, Rooster, you have nothing to lose. If you've been sick for 6 years, to take this energy and treat your digestive area, your digestive system of the body. Really, just treating your overall body may help your well-being and helps. It's amazing. As I was talking about the concussion study that we're doing at the University of Colorado with Dr. Lyons, is that they're treating the head and they're helping their low backs. So hopefully, Rooster, you can get some good results using our type of therapy. Go to our website, Rooster, if you've not been there, MagnaWave. PEMF.com, and look for a practitioner near you. It's in the upper right-hand corner. You can click that, put in your zip code basically, and it'll tell you if there's a practitioner nearby that can give you service, or call the office and talk with them about the other situations as well. Hazel says on CastBox, I believe it has helped my food allergies. And why not? If your body's in better homeostasis and everything is working the way it should be, anything could potentially be aided with this type of energy therapy that we're delivering. Yes, Rooster, it's MagnaWave, PEMF, P as in Paul, E as in Edward, M as in Mark, F as in Frank.com. MagnaWave, PEMF.com. And I also drink, and Hazel drinks the HydroWave water, which certainly would help with your overall body health. And, you know, Rooster, that could be good for a Rooster as well, would be some HydroWave. If you've got a bacterial issue going on, I'm having trouble here. I'm watching my screen that they can't see me on, and talking to you folks that you can see me on. But HydroWave can help control the bacteria in the body and fight the bad bacteria, and help things be cleaner. Great point, Hazel. Thank you for sharing that. And so, Rooster, check out MagnaWavePEMF.com. Let's see, new comments. Let me come over here. Brittany's with us, Kathy's with us, Terry Jo. Number again. The number for the office is 833 MagnaWave. 833 MagnaWave, and that'll get you straight into the office if that's what you're inquiring about. Kathy says, I have ulcerative colitis And when I do sessions on myself, I can tell a huge difference. Dr. Marty uses MagnaWave sessions for animals that have gastrointestinal issues. That's for you, Rooster. Kathy is watching us, and she is, again, I'll read that again. She has ulcerative colitis, and when she does sessions, she can see a huge difference and relief in her indication. So that could be a benefit for you as well. To text, the number to text a question, 502-599-9722, 502-599-9722, and I will call you back and we can discuss the question that you may have. 502, let me put that back up here, 502-599-9722. Also, for those of you who would like to follow me on LinkedIn, you can do so. You can follow Patrick Zemer on LinkedIn, and I'm going to start sharing some things there where we can have a dissertation and go back and forth. Someone put it up, magnawavepmf.com for Rooster. Thank you, on Castbox, but connect with me on LinkedIn at Patrick Zemer, and I'd be happy to get with you. And I'm going to get to my process of showing some hacks to help use LinkedIn to help build your local customer base and list at that point. So it's always fun to do that. And again, the office number is 833-MagnaWave. If you'd like to talk with any of our associates, we have a form of customer service where a lot of folks are able to help you do various things. Okay, let me bring this over here, do the question, voice call. Here we go, turn on the speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. I had a client reach out last night and they have a dog with a spinal cord injury. The recommended protocol for treating.
You're asking me the recommended protocol?
Yes.
Treat it.
Or what? Treat. How often?
I would, well, that's one of these situations. If you could treat it every day for 3 or 4 days, 5 days, and see how things begin to work, it wouldn't be uncommon to treat it one time and see some noticeable difference or some change. But I would certainly, if it's a situation where you can't treat it every day for a few days, I'd treat it once a week for sure. For a period of time. But I always like to recommend, let's get after it and then stay with it. So it's like sweeping your porch. You sweep it once really well, then you only have to do it every so often to keep it cleared off. So it's the same type of thing. I will share with you that I was with Dr. Marty, and Dr. Marty shares this in his new book that I'm participating in. I'm not writing a chapter or anything, but he introduces me in the book and talks about his use of PEMF and how it's changed his practice. And when I first met him in person, we were in Boston at a University of Tennessee conference being held in Boston for veterinarians. And there was a dog there that was a world champion, the long dog. That's Schnauzer, is that right? I think so. And agility dog, and had hurt its back. And the dog was dragging its back legs. The dog was there at the conference with its owner. She brought it out after the conference, and the poor little thing would drag its back legs, could not jump up on the bed. We treated the dog for 9 minutes, 9 to 10, I don't know why I said 9 to 10 minutes with a max machine. Any machine will do this though, for about 10 minutes. You might do it longer with a smaller machine, the Semi 5, the Semi, or the Soul, but we treated it for 10 minutes and the dog stood up and walked away, and it was dragging its legs. We waited an hour and did it again. She came down the next morning. The dog jumped on the bed 3 times that night. And so she continued to treat. So that's the kind of thing that you're dealing with. Now, the severity, how bad it is, what's causing it. If it's a pinch that can't release, you might get some relief, but you got to figure out, take care of what's causing the issue. But if it's a nerve issue, if it's inflammation issue that you can relieve after a number of treatments, then things can improve and away you go.
Okay.
Will that help?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's great talking with you about that. And send an email to support@MagnaWave PEMF. We'll get you in the drawing for some new gear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see if there's any, check the comments here. There is a new comment. Do you offer military veteran discount when purchasing a machine? Katie, that's a question for the office. I'm not sure where we are right this minute on a military discount, but we certainly value for your service, and we'd love to talk to you about that. I don't know of an existing program at this time, but I would assume that we would want to help veterans and do that. But that day-to-day operation is out of my hands at this point. I don't participate with that directly. So I'd call the office, ask for Cameron, and go from there. And I think you'll be pleased. To text a question. Oh, okay, she fixed that up. Thanks, Katie, for asking that question. If there's nothing else, I don't see anything else coming up at this point. Everything's quiet on CastBox. I want to thank you for joining me today. We'll be back next Tuesday for another edition of Office Hours. One of these weeks, Elaine will be here with us and having an Office Hours dealing with just that question that Katie had and more equipment issues. Oh, wait a minute. There's one more. Somebody coming in. Let's see what this is. What is the address for Fort Lauderdale this weekend? Hold on one second here. Can you post that? I don't know the hotel off of my head, and I don't know if it's a professional conference, but hold on here just a minute. Well, why don't I? Oh, Joanne Pelosi is with us. At least she was with us. Maybe she could post in the thread the location of the conference. They may have some public seminars that you're available for if you're a professional, and certainly you can participate with this. But that's what I would do and pursue it from that direction. I forget the hotel. I'm sorry, I don't have that, but we will put that into the, and we'll be there. If you want to come to the hotel and meet with me, I'd certainly be able to come with you, talk and come and meet you and visit with you if you have questions specifically. So yes, that is certainly in the capability. We'll be there, I believe, Thursday night. Dee Dee and I are going down, and we'll be returning Sunday to the Jupiter area. But great question, and I'd love to visit with you if you're going to be in Fort Lauderdale and like to do that. Thanks for the question. Okay, if there's nothing else, again, I want to thank you for being with us. We will see you next Tuesday. Have a great day. Wave on to better health, and have a great one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.